Members of the company, this is your Places call. Places, please. Places for the top of the podcast. Places, please.
Get ready for a behind-the-scenes look at the glitz and not-so-glam of Broadway, education, and everyday life with Uncommon Sense. Join hosts Christopher Smith and Sharna Lopez as they bring you the best stories and shenanigans that seemingly prove how elusive common sense can really be. So take a little time for yourself to hang out with the dynamic duo Charnopher. And no leaving early, because you might just miss that 11 o'clock number.
Stand by music. Music, go.
Uncommon sense, the 11 o'clock number. And we are Charnopher.
That's a good one to start with.
Oh, hi, friends.
That right there is how we're feeling today.
Oh, dear.
Ooh, friends. It is. You know what's funny? I always say, oh, it's that time of year. It's so busy. I say that every
time of year. I think
I
it's just every time of year.
I think every time, like, there's different times of year that are busy for different reasons, but this one is like the finality of school, trying to get all those loose ends, all the things wrapped up.
Yeah.
So we're dragging a little bit today, guys, but I think our topic today is going to pull us out of our sleepy state.
Our sleepy state. Yes, I like that.
Charno fans, today I'm just going to title this episode like Random Questions for Charnopher.
Okay.
Is that good?
Yeah, sure.
No, you don't like it. Your face didn't like it.
We'll think on
People
it.
can't see you, but I can see you. Your face didn't like it. Fine.
Maybe
you rename the episode.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. Maybe I'll love it.
Oh, you don't have an idea.
Oh, no.
But mine's not good enough.
No, see, that's the thing. That's the thing about me. I'm never without an opinion, but I don't always have a solution instantly.
That should be your catchphrase.
Never without an opinion.
Never without an opinion, but I don't always have the solution. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, Christopher has a coffee mug. I can't make him laugh today because that would go flying.
Man, I need it today. There it is. It's a cute owl.
Oh, it is cute. That's
Yeah.
adorable.
Adorable.
I should have grabbed a cute coffee mug. I didn't know it was cute coffee mug day.
Well, there's always tomorrow.
Okay. We could have done just a straight up list of would you rather, because my kids always like doing those with me, but we'll add in a couple of those because I found a fun list.
Great. I love that.
Okay. So I'll start with one of those. Would you rather, Christopher, would you rather live underwater or in space?
Oh, underwater, I think.
Yeah. I 100% agree with that.
Because
do you think people would choose space?
Maybe. I don't know. See, space to me, while it's cool, at least what we know about it right now, like where in space. Now, if you told me I could travel the galaxies, then maybe I'd say live in space. But if you're just like, hey, go hang out in space or hang out in the ocean, I'm going to hang out in the ocean.
Yeah, for sure. Like live on underwater. So like mermaid status.
Yeah. Like,
Ooh, which is fitting for
it is.
The Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid. Yeah.
All right. Random question number 2.
I would be Dory.
Under the sea. Oh, Nemo. I love that movie. I love those movies. This is random.
Okay.
How long can you hold your breath?
Ooh. I can hold my breath for about, I think the last time I timed it was like 45 seconds.
That's really good. I think that is one of my worst qualities. I'm terrible at holding my breath. Terrible.
You'd think I'd be much worse at it because I have such bad asthma. So I'm always like on the struggle
45 seconds
bus.
is really good.
Yeah, but it's because when I'm like teaching and doing coachings and things like that, I'm always practicing my breathing with them. So I'm like, because I think that breathing is literally the number one most important thing about singing. the number one.
I used to be better at it, I think, when I taught a lot more, and same like when I was able to kind of do those exercises with students. I don't really do that anymore. But I'm actually terrible at it. Like, not good at all.
So 10 seconds?
Maybe. I could probably do 20, but I might fall over and die.
Please don't die.
Like, that's really embarrassing. That's really bad.
That's okay.
Okay. I have another would you rather.
Okay.
Would you rather spend a day without your phone or without speaking?
I feel like I've done both. So
you've done a whole day without speaking?
I think, well, because like I didn't have a voice, like I had laryngitis.
Oh.
So do we mean like literally phonating, or do we mean like not communicating?
It's too early for me to hear that sentence. What are you asking me right now? What? Scientific Christopher has entered the podcast. Without phonating? No,
yes.
The question is, would you rather spend the day without your phone or without speaking?
Friend, I heard the question. I just want to delve into what speaking means a little deeper.
Like not making any noises? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, like not being able, like with laryngitis, your voice box doesn't make sounds, but you can still like communicate and like whisper and that. That's all I know.
No, I think
I'm
it means
overthinking
like
it.
nothing at all.
So I think I would just choose. I would probably just choose without my phone. Like I can go a day without my phone. Yeah. It's not that big a deal to me.
One day, especially if you knew ahead of time.
Yeah. Because usually the reason I'm like, I need my phone is I need to respond to people or things, or I'm like, people need things.
Do you feel like I would rather lose my purse, my wallet, than my phone? Like the phone, especially, and I can't pinpoint time and place or whatnot, but like I can recall when I got my first phone, the flip phone, and it sat in my backpacker bag. I never used it, right? Like, and then there was that sort of like intermittent period where like, oh yeah, I use my phone. I'm going to text my friends. And then it came when the pictures started. I think that was a huge turning point. And then when you could have everything electronically, all your payments, like ordering food, like it is more important. It's bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel so odd, even if I'm just going to like run to the grocery store and I'm like, oh, I left my phone at home. I'm like, why? I don't know. I think I'm gonna be okay without it.
I know. I think it's just become such not quite a necessity, but such an integration into so many things that we do that it's like, like just for one example, it's not my phone, but I always have my iPad with me, like at all times, pretty much, right? Like it's always on me. And I played for this masterclass, and I've done that before, and luckily I've had my iPad because people will show up and be like, hey, I'd love to sing, but I don't have this song. Do you happen to have it? I'm like, well, let me check my thousands of songs I have on my iPad. And then somebody showed up that wanted that randomly. They were like, hey, do you want to sing? And she's like, no, but yes. But she didn't have any music. And Karen Reimer turns to me and was like, oh, that's all right. Christopher has his iPad. And I was like, actually left it at home.
But that's because it's become such a natural part of,
but with
that's interesting.
But with the progression of phones, I think you're absolutely right. When I first got a phone, I wasn't on it much. And especially even with texting, because do you remember when you had a certain number of minutes? You had like 450 minutes or something.
Well, and then characters. Text. Do you remember when you could only send a certain amount of characters?
Yes. Yeah. And each text was 10 cents.
Yep.
I'm like, no, I will not be texting
now it's
you.
And it's so interesting. I'm waiting. There's got to be a documentary, but I'm waiting for like a really great study to come out. Like at some point, we talk to I talk to my kids, at least Jerry and I will talk to them about like when there wasn't GPS and when you had to do like, they'll hear the stories. They'll never understand
back in the ancient times.
It's true though. And one of the biggest ones for me is like television. And I honestly, I know we've had this discussion a little bit on a couple of other episodes. I'm not sure I really like the amount of things to like, I would rather it just be so much less and not everything in your face all at once and available all at once, because it used to be like, hey, Friday nights, TGIF, these are the things that are on TV. If you miss it, you miss it. Not everyone is like so connected and inundated, and it's always there and taking over your time, where it wasn't as big of a deal, right? If I missed this episode, okay, I missed it. Shoot, someone catch me up. Not I'm going to go binge watch that season, or I'm going to, it was just such a different. Now, don't get me wrong, on the flip side, right? Of course, we like having those options. I like being able to watch things when I want, and there's two sides to it, but it's definitely changed us,
Yeah.
It's very interesting. It's very interesting.
So Sharna would like to go back to the 3 networks, and that is all, everyone.
Okay, I don't know if I told you this story, but I'm gonna talk about it for a second. So I rarely, and most parents can relate to this, you rarely have time to yourself, right? So you're driving in the car, you're driving your kids places, or you're driving, like there's not a lot of time. And I will say probably hands down for most parents where it's just you. And several years ago, I went to New York for a workshop by myself, and I literally got in the hotel room and I didn't know what to do. Like Jerry wasn't with me. The kids weren't with me.
Like,
I was like, I don't know, literally. So just this past weekend, everybody was somewhere. Ruby had a sleepover. Jerry and Sebastian were at baseball. And I was like, I don't know. I did the dishes. The laundry's going. I'm like, I'm going to watch HGTV. I never get to watch what I want. We're watching Disney. We're watching baseball. We're watching whatever, right? I sit down. Christopher, I did not know how to turn on HGTV. I had to text my husband to be like, hey, friend, because it's never me.
Yeah.
It's always the kids or sports or whatever. And so I just had this sad moment where I was like, you're so lame. Like,
how do I get there?
I don't even know how to change the channel on my own TV.
But in fairness,
it was amazing. And then I was grateful for it that I could just watch it.
Yes. In fairness to you, though, like the set-top box, Apple TV, Roku, like all of them are different operating systems. It's like having different computers, and then like all the apps are different. So you're like, oh, I'll open the Food Network app or the HGTV app to watch things, but on this app you have to go over here to find the things, and on this app you have to push back 5 times and stand on your head and then turn in circles, and then it will work the way you want it to work.
And do you think that eventually someday is going to get streamlined? I feel like we went 20 steps forward and 100 steps back, right? Like you have all this access, and now it's like a hot mess.
It is a hot mess.
Navigation.
I think, I mean, this is a whole episode on its own, but I think as
next episode,
as things get going, it is already becoming more standard. Like when you go through different apps, you're kind of things feel familiar. But then there's the whole cable and streaming and how that's its whole thing. Maybe that is our next episode. Fine, we'll do cable versus streaming next.
Okay. Yes. I like this next question.
Okay.
What is your favorite thing to do on your commute to and from work?
Gosh, I don't have a favorite thing to do, to be honest, because I'm usually doing
or what's one of the
things.
Things you do?
Well, I call people. That's when I do most of my quote business calls. I will listen to a podcast like Uncommon Sense, the 11 o'clock number. I will actually listen to TV. Like if I'm wanting to watch a TV show, because now only certain ones, because they have this thing on a lot of them that is audio description track for people that are blind. So I can, like, if I'm like, I really wanted to watch more of that TV show, but when am I going to be able to do that? I can put it on while I'm driving and without having to watch it, because it does like the whole audio description, like this character is then reaching into this bag of things. So you can actually follow along. So so I'll do that sometimes.
Is that on your phone?
Yeah. So I'll go into one of those streaming apps that we were just talking about and then start a show of something and then just listen to an episode. Like I did, that's for some documentaries I was watching on Max. Like I did the whole Brandy Melville, or Brandy Hellville as they named it.
Oh thing. Yeah. I haven't watched that yet.
And I haven't I used to not be into documentaries much, but I've gotten more into them lately. Like things have been more interesting to me.
There's some good ones. There's some
Did you
good
watch
ones. I think
the Nickelodeon one?
no. Should I?
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. I'll look it up. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's dark. Anyway,
Documentaries. All right, good. That's interesting. So I would say pre-COVID, it would be whatever music,
oh yeah,
whatever
and music.
show I was doing.
I do listen to music.
Whatever. Yeah. Whatever like number I was choreographing, I would always get it in the car, just to, like get it in my brain and hear the musicality of it, even if I wasn't like dancing. 100%. Then with the invention of Marco Polo, I spend, I would say 95% of my commute on Marco Polo, which like you said is kind of the newer version of a phone call with friends.
I do lump that into
which I love Marco Polo. Yeah, Marco Polo, sponsor us. I probably am your number one customer.
Probably.
But it's honestly one of my favorite things to do, catch up with everybody. You feel like it's like your little catch up. But recently I've gone back to music and audiobooks. So I really do love reading. I do not have time. I think just my body and my temperament as a human to sit and read. I have to either be on an airplane or like by a pool where like I can't do it in my day-to-day life. I don't make time for it. I just don't. And I get like antsy. So audiobooks, I've done a handful of audiobooks.
Okay.
For sure.
Well.
This is a good one for you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
What is one band or musician you would love to party with? I love that question.
That's funny. I don't know if I have. I've never really thought of that. But I guess because it's not so much party with. I'm like, I mean, I don't not love a party.
Or hang out with or have dinner with or whatever. Yeah.
I actually think it would be Lady Gaga.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a really good one.
Yeah, I think that would be the one. I'm not a Swiftie, so that doesn't do anything for me.
No. Oh my gosh, Ruby would be like, Taylor Swift.
Right.
You know what? I'm not a Swiftie either. I want to call myself like I'm a Swifter. Not a Swiftie.
A Swiffer.
I'm a Swiftie adjacent. I'm a Swiffer. No. Not a Swiffer.
Took her down. Swiffer.
Oh no. That was really funny to me. Like I like some of her music and Ruby, well, that's all she'll play in the car, but like I'm not a Swiftie. I mean, now that you said Gaga, I was like, dang, yeah. I think somebody like a Gwen Stefani would be an interesting one for me.
Or Pink.
Or the Beatles. If all the Beatles were alive, I'd love to sit down with them. Or Pink. Pink would be cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Moving on.
This
one's kind of interesting. I don't really have an answer to this one because I don't, but I want to see if you have one. What's the weirdest item you keep by your bed?
The weirdest item? I don't have a weird item.
Yeah, I don't really have that many.
Bed. What does that mean? I mean,
I don't know. Do people keep weird things?
Maybe. I mean, some nights I might keep
a glass
of water.
Have a really interesting answer to this is Lauren Lim Jackson, our friend.
Yeah.
Which we got to get her on here. We should do that.
That's true.
Especially with her like parenting 3 babies under the age of 7, 2 under the age of 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
She would be a really great. Okay, Lauren, if you're listening, we're going to get you on here. But she used to always, like when we would Marco Polo a lot, she would Marco by her bed and there would always be funny things. Just be like, oh, look at this. I'm like, what? Why do you have that? I have books that I don't read. And I have a diffuser. Like I don't have anything weird by my bed.
In my drawer, but nothing's weird. It's kind of my own personal catch-all.
Right.
And then, I have my phone charger, which I have a really cool phone charger thing that I got for Christmas. Because it's.
Can you show it to me?
I can.
I mean, not right now, but like, can you send it to me?
But it's like it's a 3-in-1. So it has like a charging platform that you can use for like your earbuds or really anything, just like a Qi charging station. It's got the MagSafe thing, so I can just put my phone on the magnet and it charges. And then it also has my Apple Watch thing right behind it.
So I've seen it. this whole MagSafe charging thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to sidebar squirrel for a moment. Does that work if you have a case on your phone?
It does. It's best if you get a MagSafe compatible case, like that actually has the magnets in them as well, which I did get that as well. But it still should work. It just makes the magnet part weaker. So if you have the magnet thing in the case as well, it's great. But it still should charge on a regular like thin case.
I need to look into that. I think I need to grow up next year and do that. Be a grown up. Figure that out.
Up with the MagSafe.
Because I see that people do it, and I'm like, ooh, and then I'm just over here like plugging my phone in like a loser.
There's always the fun, but you can also just get like a charging pad, like the wireless charging pad, which is different than the MagSafe.
Yeah, that's what we have. That we have that. Yeah.
So you can just do that too. And MagSafe isn't
great.
As
that's for like medium
fast as just regular plug-in though either. So if you're in a hurry, don't use MagSafe. But if you're like doing it overnight, it's fun to just be able to throw on there and then like rip it off. You know, none of this cords flying everywhere.
Well, my Apple Watch broke, so I don't have an Apple Watch to charge. Yeah.
When did that happen?
It wasn't even mine. It was a hand-me-down. Thanks, Lauren.
From Lauren.
The screen popped out. Yeah.
I know no one can see my face from the radio or their phone, but what? Okay.
So I looked down one day. I don't even hit it or anything, and I was like, "Why is it like up at that corner?" And then I like turned it, and the whole screen like was popping off. I have it still. I'm sure they could repair it, but at the same time, I just probably be more.
It'd be better to just get a new one. Yeah. And if you don't care about all the features, they have like the Apple Watch SE, which is, you know, like the even cheaper version of the Apple Watch.
So, because I don't need it. I don't use it like you use it. I just need it to be like telling me the time and text messages and how many steps I took.
Yeah. I'll send you some options.
Okay. Are you ready for your next question?
Always.
Are you more afraid of the doctor or the dentist?
Oh, the dentist. And I have a fear that go way back.
This is a thing.
So
lots of people don't like
hate
the
dentist. And I just went to the dentist yesterday and got 2 fillings
You
replaced.
did?
Yeah. 2 fillings replaced yesterday morning. And when we moved here, so I had like an okay dentist growing up. I just didn't like the dentist. And I also was the person that had to have 90% of, probably that's pretty accurate actually, like 90% of my baby teeth extracted because they just wouldn't come out. Yikes. So they wouldn't get out of the way. So, and once having an adult tooth extracted after that point, I'm like, oh, that's way worse. Because they probably like were still,
really?
Yeah. So like the baby teeth aren't actually that big a deal because they're supposed to come out. Right?
Yeah. That's like their job. Yeah.
They just needed a little help. I'm like holding on to them for dear life, apparently.
Ugh.
I'm like, I need these forever. And
my baby teeth.
Yeah, exactly. So I've just had not great experiences. So when we moved here to the Mission Viejo, I was looking for gentle dentists. Like I was just Googling and I found the guy we had now and I had to have something done. And he was great. And I was like, okay, I'm staying with you forever. You cannot leave. I'm not moving ever. So
is that still the dentist you go to?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And he's really good. And it's more, I also just appreciate the understanding of dentophobes because I'm the person that also like, even for my teeth cleaning, I'm like, I'm a baby. You're going to need to give me like the topical anesthetic because I need some help, man. Yeah. I just don't like it.
And I think honestly, I'm not there. I think I actually oddly
enjoy the dentist.
Liked going to the dentist when I was younger. I want my teeth cleaned. But now that I'm older, I find myself getting more and more antsy and anxious about it before I go, which I'm like, I've never been afraid of the dentist.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I've never had to have a ton of work done, knock on wood. Like I know I have a lot of friends who've had to have a lot of work done. Yeah, but it's a real thing. The more and more people I talk to about dentists, I totally would agree if I had to choose one over the other.
Yeah. I also hate doctors though, because most of them are stupid. Or they ask stupid questions.
And that's another, you know what? I should find, I have a couple students whose parents are doctors who would probably come on and talk and not be offended. Um, I I find recently I have had a really hard time with doctors too.
Yeah.
And a lot of my friends that I've spoken to as well, just like being, like, oh, no big deal. No, like not asking the right questions, being
Yeah.
made to feel like they're crazy. Like it is a very strange epidemic. I feel like in the medical world that the doctors are getting more and more
Useless.
or less, more and more useless, or less and less patient forward.
Mm.
Right. So I have a friend who works at Kaiser, and I know I had a conversation at
I'm
one
going to
point
stop
with him
you
where
right there. Kaiser. Fired.
yeah, we don't do Kaiser, but he was telling me that they're working on putting their staff through like bedside manner classes
Good.
and like people person classes, because I find that to be one of the biggest situations where you want to trust that person and you want that person, they need to take the time, anyway, that's a whole other episode. But I would love to hear, maybe we'll find someone who can come on and talk with us about that. Okay, you want to do two more?
Sure.
Two more just like fun adventure questions? Okay. If you were a car, what kind of car would you be? I like that one a lot.
Is this the kind of car that I probably would be, or the kind of car I would want to be?
So let's do two.
Okay.
If someone were to look at you and be like, Christopher, this is this kind of car, and then what kind of car would you want to be?
Yeah. I feel like if someone had to say it was a car, maybe I should make you answer it, but I would be like a medium to big SUV. Like I'm
with
useful,
all the electrical bells and whistles.
Yeah,
all
absolutely.
The technology.
Fully loaded.
That would totally be
fully
that
loaded
would totally
technology. And it's like I'm like a big presence, and I'm like, get out of my way, and here I come barreling down the freeway. I think I would want to be like a flying car. That's what I would like to be.
Oh, yeah.
Like
that's
all
a good
stealthy.
one. You answering
like,
first makes it hard for me because
I know.
I feel like I want to answer, and then I'm like, dang, that's good. Especially Lady Gaga. I was going to steal that one.
You can
I think
answer
for
the
me,
same answer. We're the same.
I mean, it's true. I think if someone were to look at me and say what kind of car I was, I feel like I would be sort of this hybrid car cross between like a mom car, right? Got to have a type of SUV.
Okay.
But then, and everyone will tell you this, even just this morning when my son got in the car, he's like, Mom, your car's so clean. I would have like a self-cleaning car. Like I don't want stuff in my car.
Yeah.
I need the things out of my car. Like Jerry can have 5 families living in his car with all of their stuff, and he doesn't care. It doesn't bother him. We park in the driveway. I'm like, get your stuff, get your wrapper, get your sweatshirt, get your shoes. I need the self-cleaning car, whatever that looks like.
In that aspect, Joy would be the exact same. Like she will get in the car, like in the garage. So when we park in the garage, we have the CRV that pulls right into next to the garage door to the house, like the door into the house.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll be getting in the car, and I'll be coming out to the garage to say bye or whatever, and she will hand me like my Panera like wrapper for my straw, and I'm like, what is happening?
Oh my gosh, I love Joy.
Yeah.
Shout out to Joy.
Yeah.
Clean car friend.
Yeah.
Hey, but you know what's funny though, Christopher? I don't get, like, if I go in someone else's car that's messy, it doesn't bother me. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I believe that.
It's just my car. Like, I want it to be clean. So everyone else
Joy
don't get upset. I
be
don't
slightly bothered, but I think it's generally true for her too. She'd just be like,
there's only one time that I've been in a car that I was like, Lord help me on this journey, because
was it Jerry's car?
Is no. I've been in Jerry's car a couple of times where he can sense it too, because he's also like the sportsman. So
so there's just like everything.
I get in there. It's all the equipment, all the stuff, right? Like it's perfect for him. His car a couple times, like if we'll get in there to go like on a trip or usually we'll clean it out. But no, there was one, I'm not going to say whose it was. I got in one other car, and it was as if an animal had been living in there like the dog hair, the dirt, that I was like, oh no, nope. Fortunately, it was a very short ride, but I was like, stay calm.
Stay
calm.
calm, keep
We're
calm,
getting
and
out of
carry
this
on.
alive.
We're getting out. It's gonna
And the
be okay.
trash.
It's gonna be okay.
And the trash.
Yeah.
I like a straw wrapper. We're gonna be okay with,
Yeah.
except for Joy and I. But
Yeah.
it's when they leave like food trash.
Yeah.
Oh, it grosses me out. Okay, 2 more.
Okay.
Have you ever spotted anything weird in someone else's home?
Weird. Oh, no, I don't think so.
Like anything strange in someone else's house?
I mean, I guess I would say the weirdest thing is a paint color. Like when we like when we
I love that answer.
when we walked
Like,
through
why is your wall mustard yellow?
Yeah, like when we walked
Like
through
that
the
kind
house
of
that
thing?
we live in now before we bought it. Like first of all, the whole downstairs was like a lime green. I've shown you pictures. It was
No.
like a lime green. Maybe you've
Ick.
forgotten.
No,
And then
I don't think I remember that.
Okay, well, I will send you the whole walkthrough video. And then the
Okay.
office was like a chocolate nasty brown, and then
Gross.
like a light chocolate, I guess, like a milky chocolate, but it wasn't a nice color. And then the master bedroom was lavender.
I do remember that.
The kids' room was Smurf blue, and the guest room was biohazard orange.
That is actually a great story. I'm glad I asked you this question. I
What?
do not. Now, I will say the wall color phase of life has ebbed and flowed,
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
So there's definitely in the last handful of years this trend of gray
Yeah.
and light and stark and clean, right?
Which is
I love.
what we have.
But there was
mostly.
definitely, that era of colorful and wallpaper and crazy
Yeah.
patterns and shag rugs, right? But the colors you're just explaining just sounded like someone got bored on a Friday and was
Right.
like, hey, tomorrow we're going to paint the room yellow.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah. It was very colorful.
Yeah. I can't think of anything particularly strange. I just actually like going to people's homes, and it tells so much about them,
Yes.
right? So like if you've never been to their house, but you feel like you kind of know them, and then you get to their house and you're like, I know you so much better now. Like a
Right.
lot of things are falling into line and making sense, right?
Yeah.
It's so interesting. But I can't think of anything weird. I mean, if something comes to me, I'll let you know.
Yeah, you came into our house. And you're like,
Um,
Joy, I understand you. We are the same.
Yeah. All right. Are you ready? Last one.
Yeah.
What's something ridiculous that should be illegal but isn't?
Ooh.
I know. I feel like I
here-
want to answer 100 things, but I can't really think of a great one.
So I'm going to say, don't send me hate mail because it's a nuanced question. But driver's licenses need to be
Oh.
reevaluated and evaluated differently.
So-
because people
driver's
have
licenses,
forgotten how to drive
I get
somehow.
that. Honestly, though, I I don't know the answer, so I'd have to look it up.
But you have an opinion, right? So
Yeah. What is the age where you have to retake the test?
I'm not sure. I think it's like higher, but it's also just the written test then. I'm more concerned
Yeah.
with people that
The driving.
The driving. I'm like,
Yeah. Like my mom is 75.
Yeah.
She still drives okay. She still
Yeah.
drives okay. And she drives a lot. And I think
Yeah,
that is one of the
that's a
reasons why
key.
she's still a good driver, because she drives a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of these people, 70 plus, even
Yeah.
some 60 plus, they
Yeah.
don't drive anymore. And so when they do drive, they're not good at it. My mom has not had to retake a behind the wheel test. She's 75 years old.
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't like it. But
I find
think-
it odd that you're going to make a 16-year-old do it.
Well, they
because
gotta
one time
do
only.
it though. I know.
Well, no, they need to do it.
Yeah.
But the one time only deal?
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's crazy.
And,
Yeah.
and I will say sometimes, yes, it's the old people on the road that I'm like, okay, friend, thank you, go away. But most of the time, it's
Yeah.
just an average mid-30s human
Random.
being
Yeah.
a dummy. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, go away.
The other day was on the freeway in the slow lane, but the person in front of me, and I'm not exaggerating, was going 35 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And I told Sebastian, I'm like,
That's also illegal,
this
by the
person
way.
needs a ticket. It is. And he's like, why? They're not speeding. I said, buddy, this is more dangerous here with everyone trying to go around this person. And I know it is illegal, but I obviously, I honestly wonder how often those tickets are given.
I know
it's illegal.
I mean, if they have their hazards on, then you can drive as slow as you need.
Yeah.
But without having your hazards on,
I think something
you're
like
supposed to, you get a ticket if you're impeding traffic, and I think anything under 20 miles under the speed limit is impeding traffic.
That is true. I think too, there are a couple things that, like jaywalking, for instance. I know they recently made it so you can't get a ticket for that, but I remember thinking when you could get a ticket for that was I was like, whatever.
It's a money grab.
Like, if you're going to be an idiot, what? It's totally a money grab. Yeah, right. The other one, it just slipped my mind. Gridlock. That one I have yet to see. It's happened to me where you get stuck. You're like, oh shoot, I thought the cars were going right. I get that, but I've never seen anybody get a ticket for it ever. And it does. It impedes traffic, right? So if you're blocking it and you go,
it's like,
I'm sorry. Anything.
You could tell you've been sitting here for a good 5 minutes watching this traffic pattern. You know darn well you're not going to make it through the intersection before that light turns green.
Don't
and I want to kill you.
You're not special.
I am that evil human that if someone is blocking me and I cannot get around, I get so mad that I will sit there with my horn on the entire time they're in my way.
Oh, dang, Christopher.
I'm like, you need to learn not to be an idiot. And I'm going to try to help you. And it also just makes me feel better.
I think something else and illegal is one thing, but something that bothers me, and Jerry and I have had a couple conversations about it. I know there are certain places you can go that leaving your trash behind is okay. Movie theaters, stadiums. I dislike it. I can't why is it okay to leave all of your trash on there? It's one thing if you have peanut shells.
Yeah.
Okay, but pick up your beer cups and your soda cups and your trash and put them in trash cans. The fact that that's a thing and they just do that at stadiums and movie theaters, I don't
like it.
Get that. I know it's not going to be illegal, but
no, but I don't like it.
I like it. But I don't like it.
All right.
Ooh, that's a good it's a good one to end on.
Yeah. All right, friends, Charno fans, thanks for listening. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram at Charnopher Official. Check out uncommonpod.com. And on that note, Charnopher
out. Christopher, we are matching in blue today, and I didn't even notice it.
Well, there you go.
It's a blue theme.
This concludes another episode of Uncommon Sense. If you're ready for more of this fresh, hilarious, and unique perspective on the world of entertainment, education, and life, be sure to subscribe right now to catch every episode. If you gasped, laughed out loud, or even snorted, share the show with your friends and aspiring entertainers because, let's be real, sharing is caring. For more Charnopher, tune in to their witty insights by checking out the website uncommonpod.com or connecting on social media. Tune in next week and get the real insider scoop on another episode of Uncommon Sense.